to the railroad tracks and follow them to the station of my enemies. A cobalt tooth man pitches pennies at my mugshot, negative all over the United States. There are toddlers in the rock. I see why everyone out here got in the big cosmic basket and why blood agreements mean a lot and why I get shot back at. I understand the psycho-spiritual refusal to write white history and take the glass freeway. White skin tattooed on my right forearm, ricochet sewage near where I collapsed into a rat-infested manhood. My new existence is living graffiti in the kitchen with a lot of gun cylinders to hack up. House of God in part, no cops in part, my body brings down to Christmas. The new bullets pray over blankets made from the old bullets. Pray over the 28th hour's next beauty mark. Extrajudicial Confederate statue restoration, the waistband before the next protest post. Hey, by the way, time is not an illusion, Your Honor. I will save your deaths for last. You're a widow, Your Honor. You're moving money again, Your Honor. It has only raining one thing. Non-white cops and prison guard shadows reminded me of spoiled milk floating on an oil spill. A neighborhood making a lot of fuss over its demise. A new lake for a Black Panther party. Malcolm X's ballroom jacket slung over my son's shoulder. The figment of village. A new noose to a new white preacher. All in an abstract painting of a president that bought slavery some time, didn't it? The tangent screeches of military boats and election Tuesday cars. A cold-blooded study in leg irons. Hey, proof that some white people have actually fondled nooses. That sundown couples made their vows of love over opaque peach plastic and boat action audiences. The bed grab second is definitely my favorite law of science. Fondle news clippings and primitive Methodists, my arm changes imperialisms. Simple policing versus structural frenzies, elementary school script versus even wider white spectrums, artless bleeding and a challenge of watching civilians think. Terrible rituals they have around the corner. They let their elders beg for public mercy. I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen these kids' heads in the arrows myself and see how much gravy spills out of family crest. Modern fans of war, well, with their t-shirt poems and t-shirt guilt. And me having on the cheapest pair of shoes on the bus, I have no choice but to read the city walls for signs of my life. Right on. Man, come on up, Christy, and take the throne.
My big ball gown. Let's see. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of Free Press. That was TONGO Eisen Martin, our own San Francisco poet laureate. And then we also have jxtheo later. I'm Christy Harbinski. I'm the band leader and the vocalist for Free Press. I have beside me Annalisa Zamula on both saxophone and flute. Philip Ryan on bass. Rajumunji on guitar. I have Dave Mahali, the sensei, on drums and guitar. And also I have on piano Mr. Alvarez Jabril Alvarez. So the second song we're going to do tonight, after TONGO's masterpiece, is called Caravan by Duke Ellington.
Shines upon our caravan. Sleep upon my shoulder as we creep across the sand, so I may keep this memory of our caravan. Oh, this is so exciting. You charms of you beside me here beneath the blue. Our dream of love is coming true within our desert caravan.
From a 2-floor skyline, an abandoned house once talked to me. It said, "Young man, you are heroic and 10 years old. Among 20 generations of friends, your friends will free fall away, they'll free fall up, they'll free fall the walls at 5th grade speed to industrial paint. Behind secondhand fences, young men use quick knife tones, be bone and brass, be last laugh music. You are always leaving, always one change of clothes from the door, life and escape. 2-floor skyline said, you the guy that dies in the middle. The friend more blues than skin. The face that Tipo tells schizophrenics can place with a 90-mile-per-hour right eyes among dry heat killers. Once children, 3 feet high and roaming and repeating and aiming at cotton mirrors that hang on breathing walls. You were 10 years old, tagging along, yawning at well-lit violence, whistling two-shop songs. You will be useful, you will be high and alone, flying on a nephew dragon from a $20 family in a sky that calls itself just more soil. Around walls that are just walls, except these walls suggest you make wives out of highs and currency. Here the air is polite to sleepy glass and bullying walls. Young man, you will come to admit that sometimes suicide is power. Because some people live stronger as ghosts. And sometimes the afterlife empties billions of souls into objects like playground bullets and abandoned door frames. Even broken glass will prove it has voice too. There are 24 hours behind your back. Look over your shoulder right now. Can you hear it? The sound of drums punching themselves out. The sound of piano parts learned in between assassination attempts. Be bone and brass, be bone enough for 2 souls. Be invincible again. Suffer red-eyed accents, professional fingertips. Gifted victim, 6 in the morning beer. The first month of probation to shout at the wall. See these words that shouldn't be home. Look behind you again. Be invincible again. Be Winwood. Be a sad machete. Be her son. Be a thief. Steal his back. Laugh too long and never look away. The afterlife will empty and walk you home.
Thank you, Tongo. And it's one of my favorite pieces by Mr. Dave Mahaly. It's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Vespertine, meet me mid-downstream, in a dream, in between 2:12 and 2:90, streamline starshine, supernal, night supreme, from above and around, a fragrance and a sound, cinnamon, cardamom, devotion and aplomb. Midday, go away with nighttime. Comes a dream, vespertine.
whisper too.
Thank you, Dave Mahali. Tongo said we had too many love songs in our set. So this was my rebuttal to his claim. This is Political World by Bob Dylan.
We live in a political world where love don't have no place. We're living in times where men commit crimes, and crimes don't have no face. We are living in a political world where wisdom is thrown in jail. We're locked in a cell, divided in hell, and sent to the chase. We are living in a political world. Where courage has no face, and time
Capitalists eat until the world is blurry to them. These streets are made of saliva, some people made of saliva too, they usually got on uniforms. While a crazy man spins round and round trying to make a record out of this mass production jungle, maybe I'll join them, count cash and cry. These streets are made of saliva and white sheets are worn by a building in which kids are supposed to learn how to read well. White sheets on the highway too. Another mayor needs their head on the pike. One down is just one down, but you know you tell all this to the masses and your teacher will pipeline you. They told me I was jewelry. They told me this is jungle. Well, maybe not jungle, more like 50 machine guns planted in the ground. It's raining faces again in California. What does this say about heaven? What does this say about the people you killed? Waiting lines got so exhausted, a million minds dropped all these faces at once. If the fascists can read the lips of a giant talking in his sleep, we might as well make our demands in prison letters. Today was born the most important trigger finger in the world. Today I begun counting down the pages between now and a pile of books by a tunnel. Chicago's gonna walk out of Chicago one day. Babies will drag street signs like old toys. Today the most important letter left prison. Babies are laughing flags like faces that have disappeared. Maybe I'll join them, but for now, these streets are made of saliva and we raise half full glasses to the basements that meant nothing in the working poor who live there. We get shot, we get white sheets on California where the kitchen table like to talk as much as the walls and romance on the porch consists of hard residing. I mean, this picture characters talk spit and know that they hard to kill. The kitchen table knows this. The porch is almost convinced that one down is just one down. This town is coming to town. A circus watching itself, half distracted, half suicidal. Thrilled children dressed as cops. Thrilled children preaching and policing and intaking and hiring and snatching your money. This town's coming to town with tough trademarks to follow. Today I watch capitalism walk on water and people play dead so that they could be part of a miracle.
In a political world, we are living in a political world. We are living in that world. Oh, we are living in a political world. The next day may be your last. The next day may be your
So I was talking to Eric earlier about Jabiela Vargas, and he said he would get some records of hers because he didn't have any. But I demand he has some. So this next song is called Macarena, and it's not that Macarena.
No, I thought it was that one.
No, it's not.
Thank you for that.
Ponme la mano aquí, Macarena, ponme la mano. tuvo con bendición de Guanábana madura. Quiera firme cintura, la misma de aquel danzón, caliente de aquel danzón. Ponme la mano aquí, Macarena, ponme la mano aquí.
So we have Now, a Tagalog song from my mother's and my brother's homeland. And also JT is going to come up, or jxtheo. Oh, yeah. If anybody wants a translation, since we have limited time, we can have some.
Usapan ay higit na ang Pilipinas. Sa lungkot man o sa ligaya, karinyosa rin na masaya. Sa gitna man ng kahirapan, may sigla ka rin kung kumilos. May sa pag-iro simpatikang tunay, puso mo ay ginto, pangarap nagbawat ang mamahal ay mutya, ang mata sa buhay, pinata ay dukha, kamdi ka na kamdan.
Dito naalala ang halaga ng lupa na sa ating pinamana. Mula ng bansa, nasa puso nila. Nasa isang tao na bago ang halaga. Hindi lang puro pera para sa kalagayan ng kalikasan, katutubo at ng taong bayan. May galang sa matanda, babae, mga anak. Ang unang tungkulin ay pagtimpla ng tamang sangkap. Nasapat sa paggamit ng kapayapaan laban sa hirap. Subalit, kabaligtarang malaganap. Ito'y litrato, parang kalayaang halaala, kultura at kasaysayan. Nawawala, wala giniba ang kagubatan at pinuno ang lungsod. Mga panasibat ng revolutionary pinudpod dahil nawala sila sa isip at pangungurakot ang inabot ng makasalanan. Pero wag matakot, lalaban pa rin tayo. Itaas ang kamao, itaas ang kamao, itaas ang kamao, lalaban pa rin tayo. Itaas ang kamao, itaas ang kamao, itaas ang kamao.
Dikana, come down. Come, Dikana, come down.
Next song is The Beloved Nature Boy by Eden Opness. Can we start with the piano because I need to, or in guitar, that's fine. Oh wait, is this the guitar one? Sorry, only guitar only. Sorry, my bad.
There was a boy, a very strange enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, over land and sea, a little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And as we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
You know, a lot of God can happen in 3 seconds. Not much heaven though. Here is a man before a fight, a leave me alone type character emerging from the penniless death of a one-way street fiction. Just a fancy way of saying I'm gonna make it even if I have to drive backwards. All I have is chord changes and 1,000 backhands driving the street like I'm choking it. Car full of nephews, hasn't been a sun since November, and it hasn't been a street I can't choke to death. This city better back down. You see this gun on the table? And something about staring until it all feels stable. Why wouldn't I protect everyone on my death? Sleep late, my son better be quick. My daughter better shoot first because we fold for no one. We fold for nothing, okay? The first thing you'll feel is the heat. This lady would tell me, trying to tell me about possession. Drink life neat is what I'm mostly hearing. Most of the world leaves me alone. To breathe smog like a giant, to go to jail every once in a while when the genocide kicks up in late May. When politicians have too easy a time, I'm gassing backwards out of one-way street in honor of myself and in honor of you. If you understand the nature of the world, how long I've been just like my father, one hell of a resemblance says the anxiety of the neighborhood. This is a crossroads or a crossroads narrative. There's so much crossroads, people get in the habit of turning back. Turn back only to find themselves remembering me, but not my last words. A man before a fight, you'll feel the heat, but there's nothing to keep in mind. There's nothing to remember, really, there's nothing to be. Just this moment, then another, then a stare, then it all becomes stable. Then the table lets go fuzzy, and Fridays, an unfamiliar face peeking in the window. It's cool to panic for a second. Composure is wasted on your worst enemies. People are marked on that sidewalk. You the only thing life-size. Everybody knows it's in the wire hanger empire. When the blood stops walking, that feeling isn't father enough to be permission to fold. You better swing one more time. That father of yours rose from the grave and said, just give me 5 more minutes. He said, running water is a myth. It's us who are running up, down, and all alongside this water. And people don't rise from the grave. They not laid down neither. It's us who flip all around their body. So beware when the people around you look like they about to jump. It might be your time. You'll feel the heat. And when 4 walls demand to be 4 walls and the earth outside mutes, don't panic. Don't try to recreate the earth outside. Don't tell jokes to yourself. Don't even talk disrespectfully to the 4 walls. Instead, unclench your fists and walk away. There might be heaven if you understand the nature of the world.
Then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And as we played with many things, fools and kings, this he said to me, the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
They're clapping for you, Tongo. We're in a competition. Just kidding. I think we have. Is it okay if we huh? We have some more time. JT would like to do this in 2 pieces, and he doesn't just want to do one. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, JT.
Y'all sound amazing, yo. Don't they sound amazing, yo? Wow. Yeah, it's just an honor to be in y'all's company tonight. Tongo, Brett and Beckett, y'all. Beautiful.
Buy his books. They're right there. What is the book title called again?
It's called Paper Trail of Freedom.
Yes.
So,
And then buy Tongo's books too.
yeah. Yes.
Okay, the next song of the piece we're going to be doing together, I guess we'll call it a medley, is It's Raining and Ain't No Sunshine. And It's Raining is by Irma Thomas, and Ain't No Sunshine is by Bill Withers. Thank you. Sorry, getting late.
It's raining so hard. Looks like it's gonna rain all night. And this is the time I'd love to be holding you tight. But I guess I have to accept the fact that you are not here. I wish this rain would hurry up and end, my dear. It's raining so hard, it's really coming down. Sitting by my window, watching the rain fall to the ground. This is the time I'd love to be holding you tight, but I guess I'll just go crazy tonight.
An omen once led me to her as I walked upon an unfamiliar bridge looking for inspiration in the heavens. There she was, on the night sky, a goddess of ceremony on her altar. I found myself among the countless witnesses of her power. She gave me a purpose for being. Like the moon was meant to reflect upon the sun, she made me glow. I saw an endless horizon in her eyes and felt an insatiable desire to know her. She looked at me like I was the only one in the audience, like I was the only one in the world to see her dance that night. With harmonious composure, she inhaled the whirlwind of anticipation, her steady core, her head held high, while she extended her wings from shoulders to arms, to the subtle intricacies of her fingers, to the flow between her hips and feet. She was an elegant morning sunrise, the way she filled the stage, tainting my sky with her daylight smile. Even at dusk, when she faded back into the dark, her sunset semblance remained stained on my heaven. Her rhythm conjured gravitation. Her body blurred the distinction between flesh, fire, and water. She was a walking elemental. Her legs were a double-barrel fireball shotgun when she cocked her ankles and unloaded her shells with each strut. Each step was a bang, leaving vortices on the floor. A galaxy of stars, her trails. She shell-shocked the stage. Now I would have dared you to tell her there is no future here, that she would have been broke. She would have died on this sacred ground instead of living in starvation away from here. She journeyed far and wide to feed artistry. She traveled dimensions to end spiritual poverty. A moonwalker whose feet adorned the shoulders of comets. Her rays reached the skyline to villagers of every earth. The noblest of rulers patronized her with the most luminous galaxies as a stage. Yet she did not turn down a chance to dance on a lone rock, a tiny pebble in the titanic belt of asteroids. She knew that one doesn't need the center of the universe to ignite the most vibrant supernovas. She is a living shockwave with a hypergiant heart to give away. And this is how I remember her.
I've got the blues so bad I can hardly catch my breath. The harder it rains, the worse it gets. This sunshine when he's gone. It's not warm when he's away. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime he goes away, wonder this time where he's gone. Is he gone or will he stay? Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. Anytime he goes away.
Even if this is just the legend of her yesterday. Even after the colonies came and preyed on her openness, she was swooned by songs of promise and flattery, by a contraption of smoke, mirrors, and diesel-fueled miracles. She heard it's greener beyond these pastures, where each blade bloomed below her brilliance. Her charring words spelled it out. I was nothing to her any longer, a life she didn't bother to keep. She was a runaway beam of light off to better things. Her ego expanded a red giant sun, burning out to a nebula, eradicating the solar system it nourished, scorching all the memories she's shone upon. The orbit that embraced her, loved her, was gone. She was trapped in a deed with her integrity signed away. The colonies bound her feet with their demands, built a big enough cage for her, and developed the science around how to package her creations away. She was stripped to a cog, a centerpiece for the biggest of schemes, an ornament for symbolic goodwill. She was the gaslight of the colonies, the cloak of their crimes. She is an artist no more, a hollow series of motions, recycling routines without soul or emotion. She is confetti for cheap thrills, her trails once galaxy, now mists of glitter. She is champagne to pop. At the end of the affair, she lets them mop her away. But I can't wipe her tears away from my memory. I find myself returning to that bridge, marveling at a remnant of her. An interstellar cloud of stardust gleaming. Hieroglyphs of her constellation are etched in tombs kept sacred in my mind. I await her renaissance when she is ready to return to fire and fill my heaven with brush strokes of her inspired journeys once again.
Sunshine when he's gone. It's not blue when he's away. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. Anytime he goes away, wonder this time where he's gone. Is he gone or will he stay? Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. Da da ba da ba ba ba. Da ba di da da ba be.
that time? You want to do? We have one more if you'll let us. You guys want to do Besties Blues? Okay. I'd just like to reintroduce the band before we go. And thank you for having us, Burden Beckett and Eric. Thank you, audience, for coming at such a late hour. It's Annalisa Zamula on both flutes and Radu Ranjamamuji on guitar, Philip Ryan on bass, Dave Mahali, again the sensei, on percussion and everything, and Jabril on piano, Jabril Alvarez. And I'm Christy Harbinski again. I'm going to let them close out with John Coltrane's Besties Blues. And Tongo, if you want to come up again, you're welcome to.
apparently too much of San Francisco was not there in the first place. This dream requires more condemned Africans, to put another way, state violence rises down. Or still life is just getting warmed up, or army life is looking for a new church and ignored all other suggestions, or folktale writers have not made up their minds as to who is going to be their friends. This is the worst downtown yet, and I've borrowed a cigarette everywhere. I've taken many a walk to the back of a bus that led on out the back of a storyteller's prison sentence, then on out the back of slave scores, but this is my comeback face. I left my watch on the public bathroom sink and took the toilet with me. Threw it at the first bus I saw, even single mothers half alive. It flew through the bus line number, then on out the front of the White House. Say, hopefully you find comfort downtown, but if not, we brought you enough cigarette filters to make a decent winter coat. A special species of handshake. Let's all know who's king and what's the lifespan of uniform cloth. This coffin needs to quit acting like those are birds singing. Rusty nails have no wings, have no voice other than that of a white world down there. Book pages in the gas pump, catchy, isn't it? The way 3 nooses is the rule of the way potato sack masks go so well with radio codes of the way condemned Africans fought their way back to the ocean, only to find waves made of 1920s burnt up piano parts, European backdoor deals, and red flowers for widows who spend all day in the sun mumbling in San Francisco. Red flowers, but what's the color of a doctor visit? There are book titles in the streets. Book titles like Hero, You Make a Better Zero, or Hey Fur Coat Lady, the President is Dead, or Pay Me Back in Children, or They Hung Up Their Bodies in Their Own Museums, and other book titles pulled from a drum solo. Run Here, Hero, Light the Hiding Place. All the bullets in 10 precincts know where to go. There's no heaven nor any other good idea in the sky. Politics means that people did it and people do it. Understand that when in San Francisco and other places that was never really there. I bet this ocean thinks it's an ocean, but it's not. It's just 6th and Mission Street. All know who's king, king of thin things. You know, like America, I'm proud to deserve to die. I'm gonna eat my dinner extra slow tonight in this police state candy dispenser you all call a neighborhood. No set of manners goes unpunished. Never mind the murderers, insomnia, or the tea kettle preparing everyone for police sirens. And one more time for Free Press Music. JT, Christy Harbinski. Thank you again, Bert and Beckett, man. We appreciate y'all. Much love.
Tongo.
Very nice ability, man. Very nice ability. It was cool. It was really creative. And we heard she was like a bee in the air, you know?